admit it. At its core, we all love anime trash, okay? Some of us enjoy it, in private. But, for the rest of us, we can embrace our trashiness. It's fine. You know exactly who you are. Kurt. But I'm here to tell you that it's okay to love your anime trash. And maybe it's not the most beautifully animated, or maybe there's just too much fan service. Not that that's a bad thing. I made a whole video about it, guys. You know how I feel about fan service. It's fine. Maybe it's just not an unmissable show. It's not part of the big 5 or 10 or even 50. But it's still, kind of tasty. It's your guilty pleasure trash. And we're all gonna be in quarantine for at least another year. Month. What is time at this point? Okay. So why not dive into the trash can? Classic trash. Let's set the mood with an anime that's the dictionary definition of what this video is about. It perfectly captures the impact, power, and sometimes transcendence of trash. Ahem. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. This is some well-done trash right here, but it's trash all the same. God is a moody high school girl you gotta keep entertained and follow her whims, cause if she's too bored, she'll destroy the world. Nightmare fuel. Also, that's me. And you'll either hate watch it or just watch it because it's really hard to pull away, mostly due to the apathetic yet surprisingly likable main character. He just wanted to lead a quiet high school life and stare at boobs. He's not great. He's not the worst. He's just regular. In many ways, he's the precursor to me of Bunny Senpai, except where Bunny Senpai thoughtfully addresses the challenges and psychological impact of modern adolescence through magical realism applied in a metaphorical exploration of its subject matter. Haruhi Suzumiya, doesn't. It's more of a monster of the week kind of show, but the monsters are just excuses to fight boredom. Life right now. Gintama. It's the show everyone loves to love, but no one actually ever starts. Yep, it's a long one, and you have to wait about till the last 100 episodes or so for shit to get intense. But hey, I'm a trash can, not a trash can't. 100 episodes is nothing. Like Ranma or One Piece, Gintama is a comedy that leans on the ridiculous, and it's kind of genius. Yeah. Aliens have invaded Edo period Japan, and a samurai is just trying to deal with that. And he wants to eat his desserts, and you better get out of his way or else. It's silly and always awesome, and sometimes pretty epic. I guarantee, if you stick with it, it'll become one of your favorite trash anime of all time. Really. The trashiness only comes from how long you'll have to wait for it to get really good. Plus, there's that one episode where the entire cast turns into a bunch of poop emojis. Classic. Old school comedy gold. So go ahead and just put it on while you're in the shower or something, or, you could just seriously watch it episode by episode, all of them. Gourmet trash. Every now and then, you get something that's meticulously crafted, well-designed, and properly set up, but eventually falls flat on its face. It goes beyond trash, it becomes garbage with an accent. That's how I feel about Fire Force. Guys, I love it. It's a show that has so much potential, but it quickly derailed into lazy fan service and plot devices, and It's still fun though, it's still hype, and people are genuinely invested, even me. I really want to get to the core of this story. I'm sure there's payoff somewhere. At this point, I really like the fight scenes. So yeah, that's enough to keep me interested in this trash. Next. ReZero, which I keep watching because I hate myself. Adrian and I do not agree on this one, but Subaru being in love with Emilia when Ren is best waifu is trash. That's it. That's why it's trash. I'm still watching it. Moving on. 7 Deadly Sins. Now, this one actually has a solid story that honestly surprised me. If you eliminate the endless need to treat our main character like he's Haposai 2.0. Who is Haposai? Gather around the fire, children. Anime Mom is gonna tell you a tale of a pervert who stole panties back in 1999. I don't know if it was 1999. It was around the 90s. Same vibe. Point is, he was an old man and he used to steal panties from young girls, and that was okay in anime back in the day, apparently. Anyway, same vibe. Our main character is a pervert, therefore there is some perverted trashy trash. When the story kicks in, I am legit invested. And then Meliodas does this thing where he proves Elizabeth is Elizabeth by doing an upskirt experiment. And of course, my parents enter the room right there. Some people are gonna come at me for putting this series on the trash list, but I'm saying I enjoy it, aren't I? I mean, that's why it's here, guys. You're just looking at all the stuff I watch on a regular, and I'm so ashamed. Not really, because I'm literally putting it on YouTube. So, haha, trash pride. Trash with potential. Okay, look, the only difference between this and gourmet, okay, same thing, is that these anime, the studios went all in with production and like they threw money at this, okay? They really wanted these anime to become like huge shonen titles, and nah. They were almost there, but not quite. And some of these, I love them. Like, okay, the first one, Seraph of the End. It tried to be Attack on Titan. It tried really hard. And it has such a special place in my heart of hearts because these two boys are in love. And I stan Vampire Romeo and Juliet, don't at me. They are soulmates. Jack and Rose, Sasuke and Naruto. Will they fight or make out? Honestly, I don't even remember half the plot because that's literally all that mattered to me. Something about the apocalypse, then vampires come out to use children as blood banks, you know, the usual. Then humans live inside specific areas trying to defend themselves with special weapons against giant monsters while backed by a duplicitous government that's hiding important information from its citizens. Then there's like Levi, Gurren. Then there's like more plot somewhere. But the point is, there's one really bad vampire that you're gonna hate to love because he's fabulous / a total monster. And there's also a badass queen that's there for the moe and the feels. Like I really thought she was just there for the moe. But no, there were feels. So, surprise. And then there's the core of the story, which is two best friends turned rivals who simply must be on separate sides of the war. They're yearning to avenge each other because they think the other one is dead, and you're just waiting for them to meet on the battlefield after years of being apart, and it's intense. And pretty gay. And I'm here for the gay. Even some of the side characters have backstories that you'll find yourself accidentally feeling things for, like Gurren. His name is Gurren. He's Levi, guys. Guilty Crown. Guilty Crown. Could have been good. Could have. It had the budget. It had the music and the skeleton of a damn good shonen sci-fi anime plot. It was baked like a cake and then it fell flat like a Pop-Tart. But we still love eating Pop-Tarts, you know? It wasn't good enough for me to care, but it wasn't bad enough for me to put it down. It was like a bowl of potato chips. I don't know why I compare everything to food. I'm always hungry. Please feed me, Adrian. Anyway, it's perfectly okay. But with that investment in production, you have a feeling that they were trying to make it a much more elevated title. And, well, Music is top notch though. Like, have y'all ever heard Bios Delta? I swear, I troll forums just for remixes or rearranged versions of that song. So if you watch Guilty Crown, like literally just keep your ears open and it's fine if you're doing like reading at the same time or I don't know, playing your video games. And basically I didn't watch this shit, okay? I just played it and heard it. No shame. Sorry, not sorry to the Guilty Crown fans out there who love this show and stand by it. I don't relate. It's beautiful though, I will give you that. Now, one of my favorite categories, what the trash? It's you know, anime that was gonna be amazing, maybe, or just could have been even better than some of the top 5. Perhaps it would have been a classic anime, perhaps, but it's just what the Sword Art Online. Look, if you ask me, the history of anime can be captured in 5 phrases. Plus Ultra, Equivalent Exchange, Over 9,000, Moon Prism Power, and what the Sword Art Online, just what? It's a smart and fresh take on isekai. Characters get plunged into the world of a VR MMORPG and are forced to survive, which, you know the deal by now. But back then, that wasn't the norm. When Sword Art Online came out, that was a super fresh take on isekai. So yeah, it was like head imploding levels good, those first 14 episodes at the time. Friendships were forged and put to the test. Heroism wasn't just being the strongest. In Sword Art Online, heroes could be tactical, compassionate, self-sacrificing, and a love story unfolded that genuinely anchored and guided the story, raising the stakes, driving the plot. And yeah, sure, Kirito is an OP Gary Stu, but he's a nerd with no accomplishments in the real world. We don't have enough of those, so you know, let it slide. Sword Art Online presents a solid moral juxtaposition of real life versus digital life and asks us which one really matters. Is one life more valid than the other? What is real? Who is real? What makes love real? There are so many great discussions to be had, and then Fairy King Oberon happened. Ew. So that happened, and Sword Art Online got chewed up into the garbage disposal and has been trying to recover ever since. Alicization took Sword Art Online out of the garbage can and put it into the recycling bin. But, it still has ways to go. It needs to recover. Let's give it some time. And yet, sometimes I still find myself going back to that perfect first season and just pretending that nothing else happened. And I watch continuations, hoping that they'll erase half the show and start over again and do it right, or something. Look, I don't know why I keep watching. I like pain, I guess. Black Butler. Oh yes, this is definitely a what the f*** moment. Look, I've seen people online describe it as a children's anime, Blue's Clues, if you will, I guess. Because just like Blue's Clues, there's that episode where a child gets sold to the black market and makes a pact with the devil to murder everyone in revenge while wearing dandy gothic Lolita fashion, a show for kids. Look, Black Butler's a mixed bag. It's got fan service trash, it's got some hot trash. I'm saying that with a straight face, but my God, do I judge myself right now? There are some pieces that are just meant to be read as hot. Look at Sebastian. That's it. Thank you. And there's a little mall goth trash too, because boy does it have those, stripes, studs, mesh, and frills. Very My Chemical Romance meets early 1990s Visual Kei in Japan. Very, very Mana from the Gothic and Lolita Bible, like Malice Meeser. But outside of those charming elements, you mostly find yourself saying straight up, what the f*** every time you watch Black Butler. Because, the violence, the gore, the throwing children off balconies to their doom, it's so f***ed up you can't look away. And to this day, I'm not even sure why I put myself through it. And that's the thing. You get past all the creepy and all the violence, and this show is straight up badass. It's trash, but it is badass trash. It's trash. Okay, I need to stop. You know what? Yeah, it's just like Blue's Clues. Anyway, but even when I find myself vigorously shaking my head no at the BL and implied pieces, Black Butler is also downright delightful when it's funny. It boasts some of the most interesting character and costume designs in all of anime, to be honest. And let's be real, again, back to Sebastian. Look at that. Look at that. He has a triple D Husbando power ranking. This demon is the reason I follow Japanese Butler Cafe accounts on Instagram. Those exist. You're welcome. 100% pure trash. Make of the word pure what you will. Baki. Pure trash. But it's beautiful in its own way. Baki is a throwback to the hyper-muscled shonen of yore with the heart of a classic Rocky film. Baki wants to beat his dad, but he won't, so he'll need to join an underground fighting arena a la Fight Club and hone his martial arts skills. Baki is the frozen pizza anime. It's not fancy, but it hits the spot. I mean, come for the fight scenes and pretty much stay for the fight scenes. It's pizza, guys. Even the worst pizza is still pretty good. Orenchi no Furojijo, or The Special Circumstances of My Bathtub. This anime is about a regular guy whose roommate is a narcissistic mermaid living in his tub. Thank you. Come to me for the quality content. They use bath bombs, they hang out with aquatic buddies, and they're all broke because they use so much hot water. Short episodes, it's like a micro episodes, mini series, web series kind of thing, and there are only 7, so why not watch this trash? I'm gonna make you watch a mermaid, guys. I'm gonna make you watch an anime where an octopus gives a guy a massage, and it's hashtag not a hentai, I swear. It's not even a BL, it's just pure trash. And leaning into that a little bit. Now let's see some fan service trash. Now this one I picked because fan service. Strike the Blood, a convoluted plot, tons of fan service, and a hero with a terrible personality? Sounds like an isekai, but no. Strike the Blood is a vampire fantasy sci-fi thing? There's plot or something. But hot damn, look at those fight scenes and look at Yukina. She's a badass sword shaman and I like swords and I own a sword and that's my level of fan service, guys. It really is. If you've got some awesome blades in that anime, I'm not gonna watch that shit. I love swords. Literally, I am sending a picture of my sword just so that you guys can see my sword. I have in fact used this sword to threaten Adrian. Anyway, the rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. It's a vampire anime, so obviously part of the fan service is that vampires need to feed, and Kojo and Yukina have to rely on each other to survive. I instantly regret this. Not this list, just my life. Moving on to hot trash. This is trash that can get steamy. Or it's just hot trash, guys. Like, it's so bad, but it's so good. Like Prison School. It's the hardcore version of Kaguya-sama Love is War. I'll, leave it there. And then there's Devil's Line. It's the hardcore version of Strike the Blood. Trash that doubled down on more trash. No, actually, guys, don't even watch that. Just, oh god. The Wallflower. It's just a reverse harem for goths. That's it. That's the plot. They're all models, and they wear punk rock, visual kei, goth light fashion sometimes. And listen, I only downed the whole thing because it had a can't be bothered to be impressed main character and a bunch of pretty boys fighting for her attention. Just like I watch every other harem anime about a can't be bothered to be impressed main character and a bunch of pretty girls fighting for his attention. Sometimes that's just all you need, and we're okay with that. Kamisama Hajime Mashite. Psych! Guess what, guys? This entire list was just an excuse to introduce you to one of my favorite shoujo anime of all time, Kamisama Hajime Mashite. It can get trashy, yes, because it's anime, and let's face it, most of it can. But this is legit a solid 10/10 title for the shoujo crowd. And if you've never watched a shoujo anime in your life, go ahead and start with this one. It's got my full stamp of approval. It is sexy, it is hot, there are fight scenes worth their salt. The animation's pretty good, except when it's not. We'll ignore that. But oh my gosh, if you watch season 1, season 2, and the OVAs, you're gonna get it. Especially the OVAs. That's where it gets really good. So let me tell you a little bit about the plot. So we've got our main character who is in such extreme debt that essentially she's homeless, and she helps a man with a situation with a dog. Whatever, let's skip that. And the point is that she ends up living in a shrine because the old man felt so grateful that he said, "Hey, live in my home, random stranger," who is apparently nice. While she is living in the shrine and serving her duties of cleaning it, basically, she discovers that there are spirits in the shrine and there's a fox familiar in there, and she's been sent for some reason to replace another god, and now she has to become a god and have a familiar and deal with the spirits, and she ends up signing a contract. I have this thing with contracts. I'm gonna really check myself about that Black Butler influence. So she ends up signing a contract with the fox familiar, which I'm not gonna reveal is more than just a fox familiar because that's the point. But it becomes a full-blown romance action epic with one of the most engrossing and complicated anti-hero driven plots in all of shoujo anime. Look, I know there's some other shoujo anime, maybe some people think they're better. I don't. Kamisama Hajime Mashite, or Kamisama Kiss, is the best shoujo anime of all time, or, at least until next month when I change my mind, because I'm a Gemini, and that's what we do. But what about you guys? What's your favorite trash anime? I'm always down for more trash. I mean, I need things to decorate my home with, I pretty much live in trash. Trash is my lifestyle. Anyways, thank you guys. I'm Christelle Marie from GetintheRobot, made in NYC because we can't move. Period.